Hello friends, we're Tim and Tammy Aho, your missionaries in England.
We're full of gratitude for you, and we hope this video update finds you and your church family experiencing and sharing Jesus, who came full of grace and truth, so that you can bring grace and truth to your friends and neighborhoods and workplaces. We begin by reminding you that we're your representatives, minding the gap in England, but we're on the same team together. Team Great Britain, you might say. After marking 21 years on the 1st of April as your missionaries in England, we're anticipating many changes this year. After 2 distinct seasons of planting and then helping Dickens Heath Village Church, we brought our time with the church to a conclusion.
We rejoiced in the opportunity to witness another baptism, host a visiting mission team in February that helped with Messy Church, continue discipling relationships with young people like Emily, Dan, and Helen, and celebrate Good Friday and Easter with churches in our community.
We're glad to say our Friday gatherings at the Third Place continue unabated, and here discipling relationships also continue. But we have to say changes are coming, and we're preparing our friends for a transition.
That transition relates to the research we are undertaking among churches, networks, and church plants in the Fellowship of Churches of Christ. We are having a wide variety of experiences, to say the least. One week, we're with a dozen men and women passionate to show the love of Christ to a deprived estates and who started a new church meeting in a community hall.
And then the next week, we're with 100 Eritrean believers, asylum seekers whose worship and first language is definitely not English. These Eritrean leaders recently told us about their journeys across the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea to Italy, and eventually to England. No doubt you've heard in the news recently about immigrants whose boats have capsized and drowned. Well, it's these folks that have experienced that, and they have lost family members recently. These leaders want to plant churches. On another occasion, we visited and preached for a congregation made up of people from 5 different African countries. They speak and understand English very well, but their worship is very African.
What these ethnic churches share is a passion for making disciples, but also the very real challenge of planting churches among their children's generation who are of a very different culture.
This is part of the work we are researching to see if we have a broader role among the Fellowship of Churches of Christ to promote, facilitate, and catalyze church planting. Our recent leaders conference with 75 leaders of a dozen different ethnicities shows the excitement and the potential. For us, we know this will involve a move elsewhere in Birmingham this year, but we just don't know where yet.
To be honest, it's all a bit daunting and scary, but we know the God who told Abraham to go to the land I will show you, and was faithful then, will be faithful with us in our journey.
And we know you will be faithful too. You are part of our support team, Team GB, even if you don't wear the wristband. You can use the prayer triggers to pray whenever you see a Land Rover or eat chocolate. You can pray Luke 10:2 for laborers in the harvest, and send mission groups to experience disciple-making principles, engage in creative outreach activities, and prayer walk. Our support team makes all the difference, and we are grateful for you.
Remember, you can go to cmfi.org/TTAho to learn more about what you are doing through the Ahos in England. Hugs from both of us.
And just so you know, here's what hug looks like.